Hello, YCombinator. My name is Hamza Dusti. I'm a graduate of San Jose State University in computer science. I'm applying for the summer around 2012, and let me give you a little taste of what my idea is. Hopefully by the end of the video you guys will have a clear picture of what it is. So essentially my idea is to provide ticket insurance for people just like insurance companies provide car insurance for people. When you get in an accident with your car, the insurance company pays for the damage. Likewise, with our service, if you receive a ticket from a cop, say for example speeding, we would essentially pay for your ticket if you are a subscriber of our service. That's the bare bones explanation of what the idea is. Now, let me give you a little bit of deeper backstory of where it came from. So I've lived in the Bay Area my entire life. I've been commuting in the Bay Area my entire driving life. It's been a few years, and in those few years I've been observing commuter behavior, driver behavior, specifically on freeways. And I've noticed a couple things that ultimately led me to come up with this idea. The first thing I've noticed is there are a lot of speeders on the road. A lot of people do break 65 miles per hour on the freeway. I would say, in fact, that the average speed on 101, for example, is probably 70 miles per hour or above. So that's observation number one. People want to speed. They want to get to their destination faster. They want to get to work faster. They want to pick their kids up from school faster, whatever the reason. The second observation I noticed is there's all these speeders on the road, but there's really not enough cops to manage them, or essentially to dole out tickets to them. The ratio seems staggering. I don't know what the actual number is, but I would say a fair guess would be maybe 1 cop per 1,000 drivers on the road. So the statistics are heavily in favor of the people that are speeding. And because of these two factors, I sort of came to the realization that there's no service that allows people to speed and not worry so much about the risk of getting caught by a policeman. Of course, I'm not trying to advocate unsafe driving or breakneck 90+ mile per hour speed. But 70 miles per hour, 75 miles per hour, people want to drive that speed, and a lot of them do, but they're still worried about getting pulled over, and that's essentially where our service comes in. Is just like the way the car companies operate with their insurance, just like the way you can walk into a cell phone store and get cell phone coverage for your phone. You never know when you're going to need it, but you have it, and that's essentially what the idea is. So there are some really good advantages I feel that this idea brings with it. The first advantage, like I said, is since there's no cops on the road, the statistics are in favor of speeders on the road, and if they're subscribed to our service, then the statistics are in favor of us, that we'll essentially have subscribers to our service, but we won't actually be paying for tickets because people will not be receiving tickets. Of course, there's going to be some percentage that will speed and will get tickets, but it's my belief that, like I said, there's not as many cops on the road, and speaking, of course, for the Bay Area. But yeah, since there's not as many cops on the road, hopefully our subscribers will not get as many tickets, and we will hopefully turn a profit because of that. The second really good thing I feel about this is that it's an untapped market. In my somewhat limited research, I was not able to find a company that has offered this service, either because it's really not a good idea, or because it's such a good idea that nobody ever thought of it before. But the major insurance companies do not offer this type of service. You can't go to State Farm and say, I want to pay extra for ticket insurance, essentially. They're not going to do it. None of the big ones are going to do it, and there's no private company right now that does it either. We would be the first into this market that I do believe exists, that people would actually be willing to pay a monthly fee to be protected against getting a speeding ticket. So those are the advantages, but of course I'm realistic. There's always disadvantages to an idea. The big concern, of course, is can we essentially make more money than we have to actually pay out in tickets? And that depends on a few factors. Hopefully, if I get into Y Combinator, I could go into those in greater detail and hammer those details out. But essentially, that's the big concern is, unlike typical business models where the money we take in is ours, essentially, the money we're taking in from people is at risk for some length of time. Yeah, so that's one of the big issues. And another issue is I'm not too familiar with other areas in the U.S. that this service could reach in terms of commuter behavior. I'm sure that other areas in the U.S. are similar to the Bay Area, for example, the Los Angeles metropolitan area, all those freeways, all those people speeding. So yeah, again, even the disadvantage leads back to the big advantage that I feel we have is it's an untapped market, and it is something I'm very passionate about because getting pulled over by a cop is the worst feeling in the world, especially when you don't really deserve the ticket. I mean, if you're just going above the speed limit and you get pulled over, worst feeling in the world. At least when you're going 80 miles per hour, you know that you deserve a ticket if you actually get it. Anyways, I'm probably extending my time here, but that's the gist of my idea. There are risks to it. It is a different type of business model. But it has advantages, like I said, and plus the technological aspect of it is relatively straightforward. It's nothing revolutionary. It'd be a website essentially that they could go through and pay for their subscriber fee. But anyways, that's my idea. I hope you guys like it. Thank you so much for your time.